Earlier this month, 60 geese got outfitted with a special piece of jewelry to help keep track of their population. And that's Sunday Science This Week with Kat Viglienzoni. Good morning.
Julie, it's a standard way to keep track of migratory bird populations, but as I found out, to band a goose, you need a team of volunteers. It takes a lot of manpower and strategy to herd geese.
So we're all basically going to be moving this way. This is where the pen is, the red X. And we're going to try and move the birds into this pen.
They're all up. I can see them all.
Goose wrangling is an annual tradition here at the Dead Creek Wildlife Refuge in Addison.
Corralling geese is pretty easy this time of year because the birds are flightless and they have goslings with them, so the goslings can't fly.
It's a gradual process that takes a lot of coordination. Volunteers close off the escape routes by land and by water in a canoe. The geese waddle through the field towards the pen in a surprisingly orderly fashion.
Looks like the birds are headed towards the fence line at this point.
They stall, waiting by the fence. That's when the volunteers close in.
They definitely get a little stressed when they're approaching the pen and they see us coming in on them.
One by one, the geese file into the pen, taking their time. Once the last gosling steps through, the gate is quickly closed.
I'm going to need someone strong and burly and maybe with a little bit of stamina to get in the pit with the birds.
Once the birds are scooped out of the pen, they're handed to volunteers, who bring them over to the banding station.
15 is a local male.
Biologists note the sex and age of the birds and fit each goose with a metal band that has a unique number.
56 local female.
This is like a social security number for geese, so the biologists can track them if they're caught again or shot and reported in by hunters. The data from these geese will actually go into a national database. They can track where the geese go, how the population is, and how healthy they are.
It's sort of like doing hands-on science. They get an opportunity to interact with biologists who work for the state and learn about the wildlife in their area. They get a chance to actually interact closely with the wildlife, which is, I think, a very valuable experience and really gets people to appreciate the nature that's around them.
And the kids are smiling ear to ear.
I'm ready.
It was Cameron Castillo's first time.
So when you pick up a goose, what do you have to do?
Hold them tight.
Nora Wilcox has been doing this for years now, and she says the geese are feisty.
They just squirm. They don't really care about anything else. They just want to get away from you.
Once the geese are all banded, they're released, and to nobody's surprise, they waddle straight for the water. Definitely an interesting sight, something you do not see every day.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see. And what an amazing opportunity for little kids to get to experience something that state biologists are involved with.
Definitely, and it was, the kids actually told me it was a big learning experience for them. They like getting hands-on and getting close and kind of seeing where their science is kind of taking them. One thing they did actually notice from the data is that the snow geese are actually moving over to New York more because a lot of the agriculture practices in New York leave leftover corn for them to eat, and that's something that, of course, that attracts them there. So actually in the Dead Creek wildlife area there, they actually try to leave some extra corn so that they can continue to have those populations there.
That's interesting.
Was it really difficult, Kat, to hold the geese down? It looked like it didn't want to.
The goose was wiggling, and you're trying to hold it and talk, and it. Well, a little bit difficult.
Doing two things at once is not always easy.
Yeah, I'm not so good at that either.